So let he without sin cast the first stone. Judge not, lest ye be judged. What I'm getting at here is that we're all mechanics, and we've all been in a situation where the tool that you need isn't available, or it just doesn't exist. So you got to reach into the old toolbox and abuse a perfectly good tool to get the job done. No judging here. And I mean, like I said, we've all done it. The tool that we're talking about today, I first saw over there on Nick's channel at Jersey Discount Tools, and that would be this SP Tools. I think that's Schley Products Inc. These guys were gearheads out in California back in the 70s. They were making tools like most of us do to get through your day, and they decided to start making tools and selling them. Seems like a legit deal. It doesn't say, I'm not 100% sure, it doesn't say anywhere on the packaging or the brochure or even the sticker where any of this stuff is made, so I don't know. They're based out of California, I know at least that much. But yeah, so I first saw this over on Nick's channel, and I said that would be pretty handy because I'm always, knocking pins out of hydraulic cylinders and knocking bushings out of things, and it'd be good to, not have to worry about using, I got my old, don't laugh, it's a bolt that I use to knock out axle pins out of load wheels on forklifts. It's lasted 15 years. Can't complain about it. And then, everyone has random hunks of steel sitting. This one probably could use a good grinding so it doesn't fly off and get stuck under my skin. But yeah, just random things like that you could knock out. Different lengths, different widths. Just throw it in the box. I could use that for another day, and you do. This particular product, basically what it does is it takes a 1/2 inch chrome, I had to write it down because I suck at this word and I'm still going to screw it up, chrome vanadium socket, which are not intended to be hammered on with a hammer or an impact, and takes a chrome molybdenum, screwed that word up too, and you just basically stick that into there, and the whole concept is that these two ends are going to protect your nice fancy chrome socket or your chrome finish socket. If it works, that's pretty cool. Or it'll definitely work. I mean, you're just beating on it, but if it keeps your extensions from getting beat to hell and becoming a permanent punch, I think that'd be worth the deal there. So we're going to take a look at that a little bit later. But yeah, let's. Oh, geez, I almost dropped it and broke my camera. Yeah, so let's take a look down on these things, and we're going to discuss our testing procedures, and yeah, we'll go from there. So here we go. This is the basic setup. A little bit better look as far as the way things go. Comes in the package. Not unlike that. What you get in a package is basically a plastic bag. You get a sticker. That's the topper for the thing. And you get a little brochure. Again, as far as do's and don'ts go for this, I think there's really not too much as far as that goes, be reading through the thing. I will say it's probably a good idea to stick with the Palladium style sockets. I hate to use verbs when I'm talking about stuff that's really complicated. I don't want to say harder or softer, but yeah, the whole concept is for this extension to cause the damage to this thing to save this. So I think if you use a molybdenum style extension, it might just share the damage. So I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I would stick to the shiny chrome ones. Now again, just so you get a better look at it, it just snaps together like that. The kind of looking at it to see where the actual impacts are happening here. As far as I would call it the striking end, where this goes in, the impact is getting focused onto the edge of the extension there, and on the working end of it, we'll call it, it really looks like we are focusing all the impact on the tip of the extension and the bottom of this thing. One of my concerns would be beating on this thing is the ball detent smushing down on this and causing causing the ball detent to get stuck. I'm speaking from experience, from someone who's actually used an extension for a driver, that didn't quite make it through the test. But yeah. So for scientific reasons, I went out and bought me a brand new set of Icon half-inch extensions, the Chromie Jobbies. I figure these would be a good representation of, a middle of the road, and I kind of wanted to get a new set, one because I need this one and this one, and I don't have it anymore. But yeah, I kind of wanted to, it's a good middle of the road tool, and it's never been abused like this old 30-year-old Craftsman half-inch extension has probably been over the years, so we can get good clean measurements off of it. All right, this is them all kind of laid out in front of you here. Ooh, makes a ringing sound. 2, 3, 5, 8, and 12 inches as far as the extensions go. I got them out of the package. Let's take a look at them. I mean, not bad. A little extra machining work they put on these things. Knurling could be a little bit deeper, in my humble opinion. It's kind of soft. Little extra metal right there. Not bad. But yeah, these seem kind of decent enough. All right, let's get all these guys off to the side. Aside from the one that we're going to be working with today, which will be this one right here. We'll do this one just because it'll be easier to measure with my crappy measuring tools. It's basically the same extension as the Craftsman, maybe a quarter-inch longer. But I will say, Icon, I do like the stamping you're doing on these. It's very nice. It gets nice and deep. It means it'll last a little bit longer. It's another thing a lot of companies will cheap out on when they're rolling this part number and label on the front of it. They'll just roll the stamp a little bit lighter so it doesn't ruin the old stamp there, or they'll just laser etch it and go completely cheap out on it. But yeah, not too bad. All right, so off camera, what I did was I took the brand new 3-inch extension, I guess is what this one is. No, this would be the 2-inch extension out of the kit there, and I just took some measurements of things that I think would be important to as far as what would damage or deformation of the metal be looked at on this guy. So, of course, not to scale, and I'm doing it in millimeters because as far as mechanics go, that's pretty much a universal language. It's not us over here in the States that are holding up the metric stuff. It's the contractors who don't want to buy new tape measures, so we have to buy 2 sets of tools because of that reason. I don't know if that's what it is, but whatever. Yeah, so overall length, 76.04 millimeters. Reason I'm thinking about that is when this is getting hammered on, if we start mushrooming either end of this, it's going to tell us that the actual extension got shorter. The width of the end of the socket, which would be down here, if this starts mushrooming, again, it's going to get bigger. The actual ID of the square drive in this guy, this was hard to measure, but again, we're not going for precise machine measurements here. We're just looking at just to see if it moves a millimeter or two, it might worry you. If it moves like 0.4 millimeters, I'm really not going to be too worried about it, especially the way I'm going to be beating on the thing. So yeah, that inside diameter on that thing, like I said, it's kind of hard with crappy digital calipers to get that measurement, but like I said, we're just getting there. The actual ID of this here collar, 60.5 is what we're looking at. And again, if this thing is riding up on this and it's starting to make that mushroom out, it'll get bigger. And then the OD of the square drive on this end, again, we're going to be hitting on this thing, so if it's starting to mushroom, it'll get bigger. So what we'll do is we'll go out to the old truck there. I'm going to get a chunk of steel and a wood block and a hammer, and just beat on this thing for a little bit and to see if any of these dimensions move. and whether or not it's actually going to protect your socket. And then when we come back in, I got myself a red marker. I'll do all my measurements again and write them in red and see if there's that much of a difference. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, I got a chunk of 1/4 inch steel sitting here, block of wood, and then we got the old tool. Take my wedding ring off so I don't break that. And I'm just going to beat this thing until it feels right, I guess. Camera's jumping. Let me move that. That ought to be better. All right, that ought to do it. So there's our results. I mean, at least with the crappy calipers here. For the ones where it didn't seem like there was that much of a change, or at least I got close to the measurement that it was before, I just kind of put a red check next to it. As far as the square end goes, basically no expansion of the steel from being smashed. The overall length pretty much stayed the same. Looking at the wrong one here. There we go. The overall length pretty much stayed the same. ID of the square drive pretty much stayed the same. The collar down here grew maybe. Like I said, these aren't exactly precision tools here, but maybe grew 0.02 millimeters, which, as far as I'm concerned, that's basically nothing. And the OD, where it was hitting on the thing, as far as the mushrooming goes, maybe grew 0.01. Again, nothing significant. So, like I said, I don't know how many times I hit that thing. I'll edit it down so you don't have to sit there looking at me looking like I'm trying to pretend to be I don't know, some guy trying to drive a railroad spike. But yeah, I whacked on it until my elbow started to hurt, which usually means I need to take a break. So, yeah, does seem to protect it. I know if I was doing this just flat on this, the way I was hitting it from experience in the past, this thing would be toast. So there we go. That is the SP Tools Extension Protector. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it protected the extension. Whether it will do that after I've hammered on pins for hours at a time. Whether it'll protect it that long, I don't know, but it'd be kind of ridiculous to have me out there for however long it would take to thoroughly test this thing. But I mean, in that limited test where I was giving it a good one, it seemed to hold up pretty good. I did forget to check if the detent ball is still working on this one. Yes, it is still working, so that is a plus. But yeah, I would definitely say use with caution. I don't think I would use impact extensions on this, just because, like I said, it's like metals, and this metal is supposed to protect this metal, so you'd probably share the damage between the two of them if you were doing that. I wonder, I'll probably try it if I ever get a chance to. But yeah, taking this end, sticking it on here, and maybe sticking a cheapo impact socket on the end of this for, driving in a bearing race or something like that. That might actually work out pretty good. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I kind of like it. I like the idea of being able to take, when I'm first driving the pin, to have this little stubby one that I could wallop on really good and have nice control because it's nice and short, and then get a really long pin that I need to drive out. And then once that pin's halfway through, still have this with this inside it and giving it a couple of good whacks. Yeah, but again, use with caution. I mean, if you've got a $70 snap-on extension, keep an eye on it, I guess I would say, when you're using it. Wobble extensions, I don't know if I'd use a wobble extension on that because they're kind of thinner down here. But yeah, but as far as, just a standard old chrome extension, seems like it'd be all right. If you're watching this 6 months from now, or if you're thinking about, hey, I'm going to buy that thing that goofy guy on the internet said that seemed like it was all right, check the description. If I find things wrong with things or find things I like with things, I usually add it into the description. But as far as description goes, I'll put a link to this, an Amazon link in the description if you want to pick it up, or you can just go over Jersey Discount Tools if he has any left. Stuff like this usually sells pretty quick over there for him. But yeah, I think that's about it for this video. Questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the old comments section. I'll do my best to get back to you. I'd like to thank you for watching. There you go.